If only I could turn back time.
What's going on, guys? Oh, excuse me. Wow, that's a way to start a commentary. Excuse me. Let's redo that. What's going on, YouTube? It's Mike Nice coming to you with some more Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. I can't believe I just started the commentary like that. I have to talk about this. I just watched the newest Blair Witch, the one that came out last year. I think so, actually. It may have came out early. No, it definitely came out last year. I was reading some reviews before I watched it because I was just in the mood to watch a scary movie, because lately I have been really into like psychological horrors, like horrors where the monster isn't really what you think he is. Like It Comes at Night. I just watched The Invitation. Even though I hated the Babadook, movies like that, I've been like really liking those type of movies because it really gives you the a different aspect on what the monster is, and I love that. So I was like, I was just in the mood for a scare, so I was like, let me go watch this movie. And they were saying how if you watch the first one, there's really no point of watching there's really no point in watching this one. They were saying the same scares, it had pretty much the same dialogue and stuff like that. And pretty much I'm like, oh, okay, if that's the case, then I'll watch it, because I never watched the first one, or at least I don't think I ever watched it like all the way through. So I said, let's do this. Let's watch this movie. Let's see how this goes. And as the movie is going along, I'm still sitting here thinking, this is not scary. Neither is the writing good. Neither really is the acting good. So I'm just waiting. And then the credits rolled. I said, crap, they got me again. And I'm just sitting there like, no, like, I know I didn't just watch that whole movie thinking that something was going to happen. Like, I was just watching, and I guess really just hoping that at any particular point they would give me at least a really good scare. And at no point did that ever happen. I feel like I like psychological horrors a lot more now, because of the simple fact that I always feel like if that was me in that role, like if that was me in that predicament, I would be able to get out. Even though I don't know if I would be able to. But like when I'm watching these movies, like I start thinking like real rational. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, how is this ghost just throwing these things around? Like, why is he bending time and space? Like, no human could do that, but once you die, you could do that. Like, I'm obviously thinking about it too intently, and it's so funny because then that's when I'm like, yo, you know what? I could get out of this. And then so one part, the black guy, I forget his name, I think it's James, and I guess he was running from the monster, and then he looks up and the tree is like falling down and it falls on him. And I'm thinking to myself, like, he couldn't have rolled out of the way. Like, I mean, maybe that's just me. I know I would have moved like like clockwork, like the speed of light. I would have jumped out of the way of that tree. There's no telling what my okay, I gotta get this one. All right, playing a nice little game of red light, green light. But yeah, like I'm saying, with my adrenaline going, there's no telling. Oh, I took the wrong way just now. That's crazy. All right, let's get out of there. Activate. Thank you. So my backup could come. They was staying back there. I guess they didn't want to follow along. It's cool. It's fine. But that's why I'm like really liking psychological horrors, because I'm like, you know what? It's not what the monster can do. It's what you're doing to yourself, pretty much, or what is happening to you to make you feel these things, or to make you almost feel like you're going crazy or something. Like I was watching The Invitation, and throughout the movie, obviously as the viewer, you have the feeling that there's something wrong. Obviously, you're watching a movie. You're watching a movie, so you should automatically feel as though that there's something wrong. And throughout the movie, you're like, okay, this like cult that it seems like this seems like a cult. Like it's obvious like that once they started, giving started giving the speeches, and they was talking about how good it is and this, that, and the third, and then they showed the video, and I'm like, yeah, this is a cult easily. And I love how in that movie they pretty much made the main character, go through these feelings of like, okay, I got it, like there's something wrong. And then every single time, I feel like other people would maybe feel the same way as him, like he messes up. So like at one point in the movie, he gets, cause there's like no reception where they are. It's a really great movie. I like really recommend you guys going to check it out. It's on Netflix. And there's really no cell reception, and one of his good friends, Cho, I think his name was, he wasn't there yet, and the whole time they're like, where is he at, and then they're just like, okay, he probably got lost. But the little backstory that they gave that one character, they said that he's always late, he's never on time, he always shows up late. He doesn't even tell people, he just shows up late. So everybody's just saying, yo, that's him. Like, he's just going to show up late. That's just what he does. And the main character is still saying everything is not right. This is wrong. Like, something is going on. Something's not right here. And then he gets the voicemail, and in the voicemail, his friend says he's about to go inside. He goes, yo, I'm the first one here. I know I'm early, it's funny, but I'm gonna go inside. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and go inside. And then he looks at his phone like what? And then he goes back inside, sits down, and then he goes, where's Cho? And everybody's like, huh? And then he goes, where's Cho? Like, I just got a voicemail saying he came in, but yet he's not here. So they pretty much go through that whole like 5-10 minutes about him pretty much saying like, where's Cho? Like, and then he starts going crazy, and then they're like, we don't know where Cho is, like, you're bugging out, you need to just sit down, and then the girlfriend's like, you know what, we need to just go home, we need to leave. And then they hear the doorbell ring, and then everybody gets quiet, and then the boyfriend of the main girl, I should say, he goes to check, and what do you know, it's Cho. So everybody's looking at the main character, and they're looking at him like crazy. They're like, yeah, like you're bugging a little bit. And then he's like, oh my god, like he's thinking to himself like, oh man, like maybe I am going, like, maybe I'm not dealing with my problems correctly. And then as the movie keeps on going on, it's almost as if he's thinking to himself like, oh yeah, maybe I am crazy, like maybe something isn't going on. And then that's when the plot twist happens, which isn't really a plot twist because you kind of know it from the beginning, but the way they explain it, the way they go through it, the way they methodically like bring it out, like it's such a great movie. That's why I'm like really into those type of movies. It Comes at Night was a great movie too. Where did I watch that? Probably went to some torrent site and watched it, but that movie was really great too. But I'm going to probably watch the first Blair Witch maybe later tonight or tomorrow, so I can get a better reference of how the first one is, because it's just these type of movies, for whatever reason, they're just, it's not, I guess I should say I'm at the age where it's not gonna scare me. Like, it's very rare that a jump scare is going to like really get me out of my seat, like unless it's like really abrupt and the creature is really ugly. Like, it's very rare that I'm just going to like jump up and like get scared. That's why I like the type of like methodical type of I gotta heal him. Hold up. There we go. Let's go, Iron Fist. I like those type of movies where, it's not always what it seems, because nowadays I feel like monsters aren't, it's just, it's like, it was a great movie. Don't get me wrong. When I seen that in theaters, like, me and my friend Darius was like, we want to see it again because the writing was so good and the acting by the little kids. And it's something about little kids in movies that just make movies so wholesome. Even though it was a horror movie, like the kids were like fighting against the demon, and it's just like it was just like a great movie. And like even though there were certain parts of that movie that the jump scares didn't scare me, it was just the overall, like, I think many horror movies either rely too much on the jump scares, which they shouldn't, because I feel like nobody gets scared anymore of, like, I mean, I guess there are people that get scared of movies, horror movies, but I just feel like in this day and age it's very rare for horror movies to do really well. It, I think, is probably the latest, and probably there hasn't been I think a really good horror movie in quite some time, like that type of movie where it's like a movie that is like jump scares and like the monster is real, and like those type of movies I just feel like aren't, those movies don't do too well. Like when they redid Halloween, I liked the first one. The second one was okay, if I remember correctly. The second one was okay, but the first one was pretty good. And then when they redid Friday the 13th, I remember just thinking, like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you're just watching it and you're waiting. Excuse me. You're pretty much waiting to see what you already know will happen. That's how I feel with those type of movies with monsters. Like, you're just waiting to see these scenes where someone's gonna die, when someone's alone and their flashlight starts to flicker, or something like that, or someone trips and they start hearing stuff. Like, it's, I don't know, it's like horror movies have been out, I guess, for so long that those type of scares are just, you've seen them so much that you pretty much, I guess to say, you pretty much like defend yourself towards it. Like, you pretty much go like, oh, I know this is happening, so like let me like at least brace myself. That's why I like this type of psychological movies where it has a deeper meaning than maybe the so-called monster that you're seeing or not seeing. And then I like the movies that don't have monsters. Even if it is a psychological horror, like Lights Out had a quote-unquote monster, but I like it when it's the humans, because
time to heal.
I think it was, I want to say Stephen King, but this can be really wrong. No, I think it was Harry Truman. He says something along the lines of, monsters and stuff like that aren't the scariest thing in the world. The scariest things in the world are humans. Like, what we do to each other, that is the scariest thing in the world. Like, how we treat each other, that is the scariest thing in the world. Like, how, the problems that we go through, the different diseases and the different aspects of, war and psychological war and chemical war and all those things, and poverty and racism and all this stuff. That's the things that are the things that really go bump in the night. Like that's why I like movies like Get Out. Get Out was a fantastic movie. Like, in my opinion, I think that's the greatest horror movie I've ever seen. If someone asked me to vote, that is the greatest horror movie of all time, because it was such a relevant movie, on top of the fact that the writing was fantastic, the acting was fantastic. Like, everything about that movie was, on point. Like, if everything didn't go together, then I would be like, okay, I understand that, some people might say it might not be the greatest horror movie or something like that. But it's the simple fact that everything on that movie, every little detail about that movie was spot on. It was like incredible. Like, I remember watching it, and after that, going online to read, you know, people theories and stuff like that. Cause I don't know, I like to do that. I'm a really big nerd. um, you know, reading people theories and stuff like that, and you know, you just come across all these different meanings for different scenes, and you're like you start looking around like, and then I just let him die because I'm over here talking. um can you pick that up? Thank you. I can't believe I just let him die like that. And you're looking around like, I missed that. Or, you know, you may have not missed it, but you didn't think there was such a deeper meaning into it. Like, I remember I saw one that said how she's eating Fruit Loops, or Fruit Loops for the cereal. I don't remember what cereal they were, but she's eating cereal and then she has the milk to the side. And they were saying how she's doing that because she likes to separate her colors and her whites. Like she, like the racism is so deep, it's so embedded into who she is, into what she does, that even she can't have cereal together because she doesn't like the fact that there's going to be color, and she doesn't like the fact that there's going to be color and whites together. Like little things like that make movies like so fantastic. Like when you can have such little details like that. And you know, people may not notice it, but once you notice it, you're like they really spent time to really get that across. And you know, that might miss, let's say if 1 million people see it, that might miss 500,000 people, but the 500,000 people that do see it, that makes the director and the writers and all the people in the movie, that makes them feel great that they were able to put such a good metaphor in the movie. That's why I like those type of horrors, because you pretty much are making the monsters that we were scared of. Why do I feel like I just went backwards? No, there's no way. Okay, I was about to say there's no way. But I did just face him, so I guess I did go backwards, but that's what you're supposed to do. And I'm a little mad because now I don't have Iron Fist. What was I saying? Crap. Oh, I can heal him now. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry guys, that's gonna be a mainstay on my channel. Like if you guys really like my channel, I'm glad, but I will tell you probably for the rest of time I'm always going to forget in the middle of my commentaries what I'm talking about. I'm going to try my hardest to remember, but it's like, so my memory is horrible. But you know, we're so used to monsters like Freddy and Jason and Chucky and Pinhead, and you know, all the monsters that you see, you know, and it starts to become unrealistic, you know, that you know, are seeing these monsters do this thing. Like, how am I running, turn the corner, and then Michael Myers is still there? Like that doesn't make sense. Like you clearly can teleport and you're not telling anybody. Like you are a bad person that could teleport when you could just be a good guy, help us, you know what I mean? Since you already got the teleporting ability, like I don't know why you gotta go around stabbing people. That's so foul of you. Like you can use your powers for good. Like, have you ever heard of the X-Men? Jesus Christ. But anyways, you know, like that, those monsters like that, you know, you start thinking to yourself once you get of age, and you start thinking about all the things that would happen in real life. Like if you running from someone, I bet you they not gonna be around the corner. Like, you know, so you just kind of start really thinking that these situations aren't gonna happen. So once that start happening, like, you know, the only reason that I still watch these movies is because I'm practically hoping that something new is going to happen, and time again I'm usually disappointed. But you know, so hopefully tomorrow or maybe later tonight I'll watch Blair Witch, and then I'll give my I'll try to give a review for it tomorrow. I guess I'll put up this again tomorrow, and then yeah, I'll put up the review for it. But I'm really not, I'm not really going to go into it thinking too much of it, because, you know, people are already saying that, you know, the second one is pretty much just the first one with the same scares and stuff like that. So I'm probably not going to dig it too much, but you know, I'll try to go in with an open mind, see what happens. Yeah, I'm trying to find a new show to watch. I have a lot of shows I'm watching right now, but I kind of want to watch like a post-apocalyptic show. I feel like I'm missing out on one of those right now. Like I'm watching This Is Us, which is probably one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen in my life. And I'm watching The Gifted, Ghosted or Ghost. I'm guessing it's just Ghost. I'm watching those shows right now. Riverdale, that show is amazing. I feel like I'm in need of one of those Walking Dead type shows right now. I saw that Hulu has Freakish and the second season has come out, so maybe I'll check that out. Probably check that out maybe later tomorrow. Let's get to the next part. What's going on?
This much pain.
These flamethrowers are really annoying. It's like they keep on taking like one. Like it's not like it's taking a lot of damage. It's just like going to keep attacking you like until you slowly die.
Come on, we need your help.
Alright guys, I know I was rambling again. Sorry about that. Once I start talking, I just keep on talking. That's probably another reason why I forget things, but it's okay. But with that being said, I'm out of here.